Well, hello lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, we are going to be upcycling 3 thrifted items that I'm absolutely obsessed with using my Cricut. No, this video is not sponsored. I know I've had sponsored Cricut content in the past. I think they forgot about me, but I love them still regardless. So basically, I'm combining my 3 favorite things in the world right now in this video. 1, making videos. Hello. 2, thrifting, and 3, crafting. Does life get any better? I submit that it cannot. So I am taking 3 beautiful thrifted finds and turning them into wedding day decor. I think that thrifting for your wedding is an incredible way to save money, which PS, by the way, if y'all are baddies balling on a budget, I like that alliteration, and you haven't taken our budget quiz to really kind of help you figure out what you should be doing with all this, you need to go take that right now. Like, stop everything you're doing. This video will be here. Come back to it as soon as you're done with the quiz. It's like 2 minutes maximum, and it'll help you figure out this crazy little thing we call the budget, okay? So I love thrifting for events because I love the idea of using those items in your home afterwards, because whether you've been together for a really long time or lived together for a while, you're still like starting a new chapter of life together, right? So I like to thrift items that could then be repurposed in the home. I'm not a huge fan of the upcycling that turns it into something that is not even remotely close to something usable anymore. I'm not a huge fan of like the the single-use items. I think if you're going to buy something for your wedding, like specifically decor related, make sure it's something that you would display in your home. Because in my opinion, if you're going to spend money on stuff for your wedding, why not spend money on stuff that you love and you find pretty, and then you could put it in your home afterwards? Like, use your wedding as an excuse to redecorate your entire apartment. You just gotta be crafty about it, okay? Just make sure whatever you're putting onto these items comes off really smoothly, and then you get to keep it forever because it's cute, and then it's sentimental because you're like, look, that's from my wedding, but secretly you bought it because it's pretty and you use your wedding as an excuse. You see what I did there? Yeah. You're welcome. And that's where I came across these 3 items. We've got brass candlesticks, this absolutely gorgeous antique mirror, and this gorgeous giant demijohn that I have a problem. I collect demijohns, okay? I probably have at least 10, all varying sizes, but most of them larger than what I need. No, I need them, but larger than like a normal wine bottle. And I wanted to do some sort of like crafting, upcycling to them that would not be permanent because they're mine and I love them. And I don't want them ruined for you guys as much as I love you and making videos for you. I'm not going to ruin my well-thrifted, well-earned items just for the sake of a video. No. I'm going to make them temporarily wedding items and then put them back into my home afterwards. You see where I'm going with this? So then you too, my sweet friend, can thrift things for your wedding, put temporary decor on them, and then remove it and use it afterwards, because we're not here to waste money, right? So without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. We're starting off with this project because honestly, it is the simplest out of all the 3. I almost feel ashamed adding this to a DIY video, but you guys need to see this, okay? Because if this gives anybody else the excuse to collect vintage brass candlesticks, you're welcome. I wish I'd known about this when I was getting married, because I would have gone for all brass everything. But first, let's get the party started. Am I the only one who enjoys a glass of wine while crafting? There's actually a purpose to me including this in this video. It's not just me. It's showing you a bottle of wine. See? You then take your cork, and guess where it fits perfectly? Inside your candlestick. Oh my gosh, you guys, when I tell you that this is the easiest craft of all crafts. And then you get a knife of some sort. Be very careful. Please don't cut yourself. You can see I'm going really hesitantly at first because I wasn't quite sure how easily the cork would break. I got pretty aggressive towards the end because I realized it wasn't going anywhere. But I really wanted to be at the right depth and the right thickness to hold up a piece of paper nice and steady without falling over. And after some trial and error, we got there. Now, I was trying to figure out how to incorporate Cricut into this, because you could just buy pre-made table numbers. Easy peasy, no problem, right? But that would not work with my upcycling Cricut challenge. So instead, I have these reproduction vintage postcards. Look how sweet some of these are. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. That I figured I would turn into table numbers, and they work perfectly, like with the whole vintage vibe that we've got going on here. Some of them are horizontal, so that'll just change how you size the table and the number itself, but it still works. And one thing I actually love about these postcards is you can actually write notes to your table on the back. I've seen a couple people leave like little sweetheart felt written notes to each table. I think it was a TikTok idea I saw somebody did. But if you do it on the back of the postcard, then it's there and everyone sees it and it's like super cute. As per usual, scrolling around until I find the perfect font, because I am a font fanatic. Be sure when you are doing table numbers that is a very clear, clean, easy to read font. Don't go too scripty with this kind of thing because it makes it really difficult for people to spot their table number really quickly when you're trying to get your reception going. After cutting, weeding, and transferring to the transfer tape, I thought this particular postcard looked perfect for table number 1 because it like mimicked this. You see what I'm saying? Okay. And I also was worried that the transfer tape would pull up some of the paper on the postcard itself, but it didn't. It worked absolutely perfectly. And look how cute that turned out. One thing I will say is if you don't love the look of cork, like sticking up that much, I would cut these suckers in half. Next up, be prepared for a series of Jamie feeling awkward, not knowing how to film a craft with a mirror. But instead of appreciating my videography skills, please appreciate the patina on this old baby. I love this little mirror so much. I've used it in so many different areas of my home. So first thing I did was give it a quick clean with some Windex because she was dirty, okay? I was embarrassed by how dirty this was. In fact, I dusted it before I brought it onto screen. Okay, and then it's a matter of figuring out the size of it and seeing if I have any vinyl that will work. Save your scraps, people. I was able to get at least one project off of this scrap that could have easily been tossed, but no, I'm going to cut off even more, set that aside, and save that for another day. I didn't film any Cricut ASMR for this particular video, so please enjoy a hyperlapse of weeding. This one was a pretty easy weed. And then obviously moving it over to the transfer tape, taking care, especially with the thin cursive fonts, those can get a little tricky. Now it's time to kind of generally find my center. I don't know where the hard ruler went and why we switched to a soft one, but here we are. So I marked roughly where the center of it would be so I could kind of use that to eyeball where I would be placing my decal on this mirror. Now it doesn't have to be exact because clearly it's not a completely even decal, but I wanted to get close enough. Tiny little snafu with one of the letters coming off, but using my little hook tool, I was able to get it right back in place. And there is the finished product. She's so freaking cute. She's so freaking, and my camera. Okay. Pro tip, save your transfer tape. This is actually the same transfer tape I ended up using for the table number because plot twist, I did those out of order. So save your transfer tape. It's reusable. Here's the demijohn. Okay, I told you it was pretty, right? I told you it was pretty, and this is just like one of my collection. I love them so much. The cork broke, so we got to get that out of there. Otherwise, it's going to be distracting for the rest of the video. And again, giving this bad boy a quick dusting. Now, there's a little bit of remnant of a sticker left on this one, so I'm grabbing my Goo Gone, spraying a little bit on there, and letting it rest for a few minutes before attempting to scrub off as much as possible. Why is it that thrift stores and or antique stores use the world's strongest adhesive-backed price tags? Someone explain this to me because this is just like the fiercest tags to end all tags. But after some scrubbing and some Windex, we got it clear off. Now, this is where the fabric tape comes in handy because I wanted to figure out what the width of my letters or my words would be. I wanted them to all be immediately visible from the front. No one had to like walk around to kind of see a full name. So I knew I settled on like about 5 or 6 inches wide, and using obviously a regular ruler doesn't bend like this. Just a quick reminder, when you are shopping for your vinyls though, be sure that you are going for the removable option, not the permanent option. Otherwise, you'd run into another adhesive issue. We just got over our first adhesive issue. Here's another situation of Jamie saved her scraps. Here's a tiny little bit that I ended up cutting off to use for something else. And then this was a pretty smooth weed. I like using their removable mat. The Cricut brand is actually really, really easy to weed. Weeding is the process of removing any of the vinyl that you're not using in your design. So that could be like removing the center of an O or any sort of extra bits that are stuck in between places. And sometimes that can be really difficult with different kinds of materials. So I think the removable mat is a very easy weed, which is always a treat. Now, when working with something like this, you have a ton of letters all over the place. It's best to go slow, take your time. You don't want to lose any letters along the way. I found that it was easiest to prop the bottle up with 2 paper towels kind of stuffed underneath it to create a little holder of sorts. And then it's just a matter of using the grid marks on the transfer tape to make sure that everything was nice and level. And then it's just a matter of going back over with my scraper to make sure the transfer goes really well. This actually was a super fast transfer. I didn't need to press down really hard. And there she is. I couldn't help myself, okay? If I do these videos, I'm going to have to sneak this in there somehow, all right? And you might be thinking right now, where have I seen this before? I'll tell you where. This thumbnail. Right here. I actually drew inspiration from a client of mine who did this same exact thing with a bunch of different vases and demijohns and made for the coolest seating chart I've ever seen in my life. So if this feels completely out of context, look at this photo and just like collectively die with me because of the beauty of this table seating chart display. Thank you. And here are the finished results. Super quick, super easy. Awkward Jamie filming a mirror again. Love this for me. And then at the end of the day, you end up being able to keep these items for your home afterward. I think they look absolutely killer, but then again, these are like items from my home that I literally just like shopped my house and turned into decor. Like I already had all of them and I just made them into things. So I wanted to show you how removal works. By the way, trying to film a mirror is the funniest thing. Have you guys ever looked on Facebook Marketplace for like mirrors for sale? Well, I don't know why I selected this one to show you, but here we go. All right, so I've actually already started right here, and then it's just a matter of, let me see if I can get the reflection right so you can see it. Pulling off the letters, and I will get my mirror back. Oh, wait, it broke. Can you? I don't even know if you can see it. Look at that. There's like little to no residue. There's a little bit right here underneath one of the letters. But that's fine. I can get that taken care of. A little bit of Goo Gone. No problem, no problem. Just like that. Now I'm having a little bit of a hard time because my press-on nails make it really, really hard to scrape up the edge. But you get where I'm going with this, right? You get the concept. Why am I filming this? This is like the best content I've ever put out on my channel. Ha! Okay, there we go. Oh, I broke it. Okay, you get the picture. I'm not here to ruin any of my decor for you. I don't love you that much. I love you a lot, but I do not love you more than I love my demijohns, okay? And as always, if you don't have a Cricut, like, I get it. It's not the machine for everybody, but if you do want to shop for and or look for a Cricut, if all of the videos I've done at this point have convinced you that you need one, you can go and check them out right here. If not, if you can find a friend with a steady hand and decent penmanship, or if you have that yourself, I am not blessed in that regard at all whatsoever, then you could probably do some of this with some sort of paint pen or chalk pen. I don't know if paint pen's removable. There's probably some way of doing it. But I do know that obviously a chalk pen would remove pretty well afterwards. You may not get gold foil or like the gold look, like obviously you're pretty limited to black, white, and then rainbow colors, no metallics, but you would still achieve the same effect. And I would say all of the projects that I did today could also be done on the Cricut Joy. So that's the smallest machine that they offer, but all of the stuff that I did today could be done on that small machine as well. It just can't print out really, really large decals, but these would all work for that as well. So that's all we have for this week's video, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm gonna add this to a Cricut playlist because I'm just now realizing as I'm saying this out loud, we don't have a Cricut playlist, which I think is absolute blasphemy. I did ask y'all on Instagram yesterday if you wanted like a here are all the reasons you need a Cricut for your wedding video. I received some positive feedback. So if you guys are interested in a video like that, or if you want me to make that video so you could show it to your fiance and be like, see, look at all the money we'll save, you just let me know. And it may be sponsored, it may not. I think Cricut forgot me, but I am still here loving them because that's what I do. And until next week, bye guys.